Okay. So today I'm going to be expressing my feelings and why I firmly believe that abortions are morally correct. Abortions is a topic that is very controversial for many years. And the most recent event that I experienced that I seem to understand was last summer of 22 when Roe versus Wade was overturned. I felt as if myself and maybe many women were not heard because the reasonings to that, I'm going to explain that abortions are a woman's right, as well as having access to safe abortions is very important. And then only maybe women and their families understand what happens when you go through an abortion. So those are the three that I wanted to touch on when it comes to abortions. So in one of the articles that I read, My Body, My Choice, Roe versus Wade was passed in 1973, and that was giving women the right to terminate in all 50 states if they chose to do so. And through Roe, the U.S. Supreme Court recognized that abortion was a constitutional right through the 14th Amendment, and I wanted to make sure that I knew what the 14th Amendment was, so I went on Senate.gov to see what that meant. And the 14th Amendment is granted citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the U.S. and provide all citizens with equal right under the law. So that is a right that women have when it comes to abortion. It saves lives. It gives them an option for that safe environment that they can, go to, and asking permission from strangers, especially strangers that don't go through pregnancy. I don't think that's something that women should do. So with that being said, having access to a safe environment means that there are many facilities out there that give you guidelines, as well as they went to school, and they seem to be practicing everything. So in one of the articles that I read, there's actually a handbook. It's called the Clinical Practice Handbook for Safe Abortions, and it's broken into 3 sections, and that is pre, during, and post abortion. And it just suggests how before you have the abortion, what you need to do and how to prepare, or during, when you're going through the procedure and you may have, you're feeling pains, or you're going through something very emotional, and what they need to do. And then anything post, as far as anything therapy, anything physical that you may also need for that. So having that access and having those safe places that you can go to is something that I don't think that someone should take away from people, well, women specifically, because women are still going to continue to have abortions, and they're going to either be safe or not safe. So if you have that option of something that's safe, then it's massive, I think. And with having that safe access, you also go through things that people just think abortion is giving away a child that you didn't want, but people don't realize that sometimes a baby is stillborn, so that is harmful to the mother as well as their family, because they're grieving through things that they didn't expect. So some of those facilities do go through that, and some of those facilities do the procedures of taking the stillborn from the mother and giving that option of how can I help you through this grieving process, and how can I help you through maybe physical changes. You are walking around with a baby that is not breathing, so you want to be there for them as much as you can. So in one of the articles, there's a doctor, I'm going to go with the name, and she goes off and says, defend the moral status and defend equality and rights of women to decide the fate of her own body and her own life. So obviously, abortion is you lose a child. I think everyone's affected, but the mother is affected personally. And unfortunately, that's not something that everyone wants to go through. But if you have those options and you're not taking that right away from someone, I think it makes it easier through what they're going to have to happen. So, just having the right that you can do and make that decision yourself, you provide that safe space to that person, as well as you help them through the grieving process. So that's why I firmly believe that abortions is a right